Hi, this is Odette, crafting as Evil Mom Lady. I'm doing a initial video of my 2021 BUJO setup, a bullet journal setup. I usually use a composition notebook from, something like Dollar Tree, because I'm usually so psyched out about spending money. This year I bit the bullet. I purchased this journal. It's got thicker paper, as you can see it says, 100 GSM. I wanted to try doing different art things, and this is what I wanted to try. So I'm going to show you my initial setup. I got this from Amazon. It was a set of 2, so that I didn't feel so bad if I messed it up. Without further ado, here we go. So it's pretty standard, like a pleather. It came in a set of 2 wrapped together, bundled. Kind of this peachy, pinky coral color. And then the other one is a black. It has the elastic cover that comes around. It has 2 bookmarks, and the initial page, this is it's like a cream off-white paper. Initial page has my name on it, and then it's pretty standard. I skipped some stuff, but I added some other stuff. So I left this first page blank because on the first spread I have our family word of the year. This year it's together. And then I have our year page. This looks way more impressive than I thought it would turn out. I watched a video from a bunch of videos for 2021 setups, and honestly, this one woman had this watercolor effect. So she basically put watercolor down and then put it on the paper. And she said quite clearly, she was using a thicker paper, that it would bleed through and it would bubble. But I love the sound of this, and I think it turned out beautifully. So I fudged through it. I, found a font on my phone on Pinterest and kind of winged it. It looks better than I thought it would. But so 2021, this is my year page. And then the next page is the index. So this is the same font. Again, I was just trying it out. So the letters don't all look great, but I said, this is my chance to try. I'm trying to do more artistic things in 2021 because I'm more of a collage person than I am an artistic person. So I saved 4 pages for my index. And then the next page after that I have is my future log. Now, I am used to putting a year at a glance page. However, I found that I had the year at a glance page, never referred to it. So this time I said, you know what? Future log. I'm not going to put the calendars. I'm just going to list what's happening each month, even though we're still in quarantine. I have birthdays and there are other events that I just want to put in here. And I'm hoping that by the end of the year, we'll be back to at least having some kind of get-togethers. So that's my future log. No calendars, just listing the day and the events. And then my next spread is a very plain-looking health and a kind of snapshot page. So on my health page, I'm tracking my exercise, which is right now is walking, and I'm planning on just putting in a color for each square when I walk. So there's not much color here until I start filling it out. So I've got each month, I'm going to fill out a square every time I do my walking, and then I'm tracking my weight at the bottom. So I've got the weight on the first of the month and the weight on the last day of the month for each month. I just kind of want to track and see how much I'm fluctuating and whether I'm meeting my goals. So this really, even though it looks plain, is going to have color once it's filled in. I guess that's part of my motivation. And then on this page is my snapshot, so it's like a little bit of me. So I've got several things I want to track for the first of the year, and then middle of June, and then December, end of December. So I'm going to put my picture here for each of those times, and the date, and then I'm just going to track what I just finished reading, the song that's stuck in my head at that time, how far I'm walking, my weight at that time, and then a short thing about what I'm feeling good about. So, of course, in January, I'm going to be talking about feeling good about finishing Fire Seeker, my second book in my series, and feeling good about walking and my health and, getting together with the kids for the holidays. And then for each one, I'll add for the year. Very plain looking, but there's going to be pictures here that are in color. So I'm just going to, that's why I kind of left it kind of plain so that I could add the color to it in other ways. The next spread I have is my year in picks. This spread really appealed to me. I saw quite a few people who did this. I basically have the whole year on a 2-page spread, and it just so happened that my HP Sprocket pictures fit perfectly so that I could fit the whole year on a spread. So basically what I'm planning on doing is either having one picture for each month that kind of is a reminder of what happened that month, or using Pic Collage on my phone to create a collage of pictures to put for that month. So I'm going to wait and see how that works. Again, I did the same watercolor technique. I just put, blue tape on each side before I even did anything. I put blue tape on each side, protected it, put that same watercolor thing, and you can see the paper is a little bit bubbly. It didn't bleed through as much because I didn't put as much water, but it does have that crinkly page that I love. And you can see I blooped up here on the end. Just to let you know, if you're doing color things in the background and you bloop, it's difficult to fix with whiteout. So I kind of made do as I put whiteout and then put some ink stuff on there just to make do. My next spread, and actually I think it's my last spread, is my 2021 goals. And as you can see, I have a lot of them. I have 3 goals here. Every year I work with my goal. I work on the goals and the word of the year with my family. So we have a set of family goals that will go on top, and then my personal goals will go in addition to that. So I split it up into my relationship goals. So that's friends, family, and my husband. And then I've got career finance goals, which are a little bit bigger this year. I kind of have high hopes for what I want to achieve. And our home goals, meaning like fix it up, maintenance, garden things, stuff like that. Then on this page, I have health goals. I've got 4 areas for health, which is my physical health, so walking, eating, nutrition, things like that. I've got my intellectual health, because I find that I really, I need to kind of spark my brain into things. So that would be like actually studying, because yes, I am a nerd. So, reading different journals and articles and taking notes and things like that. That's also reading books, reading articles. My spiritual side. And then my final spot would be my creative health. I'm finding that if I don't do some kind of crafty thing at least once a week, then I feel kind of restricted in my other areas. So this directly relates to my writing goals and my career goals. I've got those set up. I have them listed. Obviously, I didn't put them down because it's kind of personal. And in the same way, I did the heading the same way with the watercolor. So I put down that line of tape. You can see it started leaking, but I like how that looks. Did the same thing with the watercolor, and it went through. It kind of made it crinkly, which I really love. So basically, you can see the only difference I did was in the future log, I did not do the watercolor on top. I used inks. So basically, I'd used distressed inks. I used Broken China, and I used Faded Jeans, and I used Dusty Concord, and I threw in a little bit of peeled paint. I just inked it up, and it's a little bit faint. I might add more, I might not, since this is just a reference page, but those are the inks I used, and I just inked them on with whatever inker pad I had. And that is basically my setup for 2021. Now, I do have a book log, but I put it in the back, and I'm not done working on that. And I also have this grid page, which right now, this is what I'm using, basically. I just needed the numbers and the center point. And what I've been doing to reference is every time I want to do the next header, I just put my page like that and go, oh, all right, here's where it ends. And then what I find is when I'm making my monthly spreads, I do the same thing, where I will take my monthly and weekly and I'll just copy it from the previous page. So working on my monthly spread, which I'll be recording, but that is my bullet journal setup for 2021. I'm really excited to get into it, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Thanks for listening.